people chose to electrolute themselves rather than going out and confronting an audience, rather than going out and speaking in front of an audience. That's the fear of public speaking. And no kidding, that's the stats. Go out there, check on Google about the research study. It's super fun. I've done the whole study. It was funny at the end as well. But that's the truth. People are very, very scared to go out there and communicate and present themselves. The same thing happened to us. All of us were dead scared to go out there and speak in front of the whole bunch. And of course, the class teacher chose 7 very valuable gems of the class to go out there and represent. And we were dead stuck because I was one of them. So was my friend. Like, go crazy. All right, now we are given that opportunity. So I like to call it as an opportunity now. Back then it wasn't an opportunity. It was a dreadful disease kind of. I'm like, oh my God, why the heck do you want to go to the public assembly and stuff like that? But now we were chosen and we have to go out there and deliver. And so I was asked to give out the news. And I practiced the news for 1 week. Trust me, the news is supposed to be fresh, right? What's happening that day. I went out there and gave the news, which was published a week back. Because since the last Sunday and my assembly was on Saturday, the previous Sunday, I was just reciting and practicing the same 20 sentences over and over again. Nevertheless, came the time of the assembly. Saturday came in and we went out there and I did deliver the talk. Trust me, I was shivering till my bones. I was shivering till my bones. I was not able to go out there and speak. I was sweating, I was precipitating, and I was going crazy. But still, I did it. I went there and I gave the news because back then the mindset was, let's just finish it and go back. And I'm sure a lot of you face it, right? We should just go out there and just finish it up, just wrap it up, and we should go back. I was actually facing the same trauma back then as well. Now, when we were going upstairs to the class, there was this friend of mine who told me that, you know what, Nizam, you actually did well. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, it was pretty good. I'm like, no, are you kidding me? I was dead scared. I was fearful. I was bone chilling to my, to the inner core of my body. And somehow I managed to speak those 20 lines. And I come out and you saying I did good. She's like, yeah, it was actually good. And then it struck me. Why did I actually do it? Why did it actually go good? Why didn't it turn out to be a dreadful incident, a dreadful, horrifying, traumatic incident that I had anticipated it to be? And it went out good. So I like, what happened? What different was that happened? I went back, did some reverse engineering, and I checked that, you know what? It was actually the daily practices, the thing that I did for a week time that has actually led to that successful event, that has actually led me to be more confident and present myself in that talk, in that assembly session. And that's exactly what we all need to do. And over this session today, I'm going to give you a few daily practices that you need to do, or you can do. Let me just rectify. You must do in your day-to-day schedule so that you actually can ace the art of communication. So let's begin with this. What is communication? Communication, in very simple terms, is the delivery or the transfer of a message and information, a view or an opinion from point A to point B. Period. Nothing else. No rocket science. The transmission of a message from point A to point B. Now, in point B, there can be one individual, there can be a tree, there can be a table, there can be a wall, there can be a group of people, there can be a bunch of friends, can be anything for that matter. But it has to be from point A to point B. And let's in brief talk about the source of, the elements of a communication. And we're going to take the example of today's session. So here, I am the source, which is point number 1. The source is where the message originates, where the message is about to travel somewhere. And today, I am the source of that message. I'm the source of the entire communication that's happening here because I'm the one who's telling you on the best practices that you need to do on a day-to-day life so that you can communicate properly, right? So number 1 is the source. Number 2 is the message. Despite of having a source, there need to be a message, right? People need to hear you out. People need to understand what you're saying. There has to be something that I want to convey. And today I'm conveying about the daily practices, right? That's the message. Number three, there has to be a medium, right? The Creator Club, this amazing folks here, these people have given me the platform, has given us the platform to add more value to our life. And they are the medium here. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. Let's get some other case studies or some other scenarios as well. Zoom is the medium. Google Meet is the medium. These are actually mediums that help you communicate the message. So that is number three, the medium. Number four, there has to be an audience. There has to be you people, because we're taking this as an example. There has to be you people. There has to be someone who has to listen to that message, who has to comprehend the message, who has to comprehend that information. You folks, the audience. That's the fourth point. Let's move on to the fifth point. The fifth point is not mentioned usually, but I like to put it out there because it's very crucial. The fifth point is that you have to create an effect post that communication. Oh yeah, no kidding. You've got to create an effect post that communication, because you want to do something and people have to react to it, right? So that's what it has to be. You go to a restaurant, you've communicated that I want so and so. Let's say I want the Rajma Chawal. Okay, you've communicated. What's the point if you never get the Rajma Chawal on your table? That is the consequence. That is the result of your message. That is the effect of your message, right? Of your whole communication. So that is one of the most important key elements. So let's move on again. The first thing is the source. The second thing is the message. The third element is the medium. The fourth element is the audience. And the fifth very crucial element is the effect that you want to create. Let's hop on right to the framework. Let's right to the framework, because these are the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, and they have helped me to become what I am now. And I'm sure they're just going to help me to escalate and reach certain positions in life because I practice it. Whatever I'm going to tell you, you have to do it every day. Let's start with point number one, reading. Yes, reading, one of the most quintessential elements to be a better communicator. Back in our school, we used to think that, okay, you know what? Why are these people forcing us to read? Why is reading so important? I understood the significance of it at a very later stage in life, like very genuinely. Reading is so crucial because here are three things that happen when you read more. First thing is you become better articulators. You should be able to articulate a scenario or situation in a better manner. Let's say you're in a sales meeting. What is the point if you're not able to tell the management that why are people not buying your product or service? Or what is the point if you're not able to convince your customer why should you buy your product? It makes you better articulators. It makes you better storytellers. It makes you better at embedding the message in the minds of the listener. That's what reading does. Reading helps you become better articulators. Number two, reading enhances your vocabulary. When you read, you come across more words. And when you come across more words, what happens is your vocabulary enhances. Your communication skill enhances because now you're able to use a better word, a word with a better intensity. Let's say, for example, one scenario is oxygen is necessary for human existence. The second scenario is oxygen is a quintessential element for human existence. Which one has a greater degree of emphasis on the importance or on the significance of oxygen? The latter one, right? So when you use the sentence, which is the latter part, it shows and it represents that you are a better communicator because you know where to intensify and where to de-intensify the message. And when you read, when you come across more words, when your vocabulary enhances, you are able to do that, ultimately resulting you to become a better communicator. Number three, it's very crucial, your sentence formation enhances. We think we don't use full stops while we speak, right? While we communicate, we don't use it verbally, but we use it subconsciously. Let me tell you how. So when I start the sentence, what's up, guys? It's super great to be with you. My name is Nizam. I'm a youth speaker, comma, entrepreneur, comma, a keynote speaker. So I did not go in one sentence, but there were commas in between, and we know it subconsciously. We know when there's a full stop subconsciously, but we don't verbally speak it out when we are talking or when we are communicating, but it's still there, and that is embedded by reading. When we read more, we are getting exposed to more sentences, we're getting exposed to more words, which ultimately helps us to become better communicators because we can present our message in a more comprehensive manner. Here's something that you might be thinking, okay, that's the theory part. Okay, how do we read? Tell us, Nizam, how do we read? Tell us, how do you read? I'm going to tell you how do I read and how that reading has helped me. So in my schedule, there's always 30 minutes in my day-to-day schedule, which actually is dedicated to reading. And I read every day. But I was a horrible reader 2 years back. I just did not read at all. Just did not. I just don't read at all. I was a horrible reader. But now I read every day because I gradually figured out how reading has helped me to communicate myself in a better manner, to make myself more comprehensive in nature. So even if you are a horrible reader or a bad reader, or you want to inculcate this habit, you don't have to read 30 minutes a day. No, don't read 30 minutes a day. Start with 5 minutes a day. Just freaking 5 minutes a day. Yes. Now you might be thinking, what does 5 minutes gonna do to me? I'll tell you, it is about the compounding effect. You put the money in a bank. The bank doesn't give you interest in the first month, not in the second month, not in the third month, not in the fourth month, but the bank gives you interest at the end of 12th month. That's the power of compounding. What's happening is here you're not getting any immediate result, but you're inculcating that habit. You're learning new words, you're learning more sentence framing, and that is shown over the time when you communicate. And you've got to do that. Start with 5 minutes a day. Number two, choose a book of your interest. Don't just go around and choose any other book, because the thing that you're not interested in, you are prone to not do it anymore. Of course, why should we do something that we are not interested in? The same way, why should we read a book when you're not interested in? Why should I read a thriller book when I like romantic as a genre? Why should I read, a comedy book when I like entrepreneurship because it's my genre? So choose a book of your interest and start reading it 5 minutes a day. Now the question is, when should you read it? You should read before going to bed. Now, our subconscious mind is actually working every day. Even when we are sleeping, it's working because we're breathing. Our organs are functioning. Our blood flow is happening. The subconscious mind is something that regulates that, and it actually analyzes the whole day when you are sleeping, when I am sleeping, when all of us are sleeping. And when you read right before sleeping, your neurons are able to remember that content pretty well. There is this term known as neuroplasticity, which means the connectivity between two neurons. Now when you sleep, by reading, because you read just before you're going to bed, you are able to comprehend that message. You are able to remember that. Now your neurons are able to comprehend it, build a connection in your brain, and your retention enhances. When your retention enhances, you are able to put it forward in a much and much better manner. So you got to read more. You got to read more often. But reading just won't help. What else you got to do? Whenever you come across a new word, I do it every day. Whenever you come across a new word, put a diary beside you and write that new word. What's going to happen? Writing that new word will sort things out. No, it won't. Here's something else you need to do. When you come across a new word, you just don't stop by writing it. You have to incorporate it in your day-to-day life. Let's say, for example, there's two ways to say one thing. Okay, I'm super hungry today, but while I was reading 2 years back, I came across this word, and now I'm able to use a better word to re-intensify on my need for that thing. You know what? I am feeling famished. Now, hungry and famished both actually mean the same, but now you've come across a new word. So when you read something, when you come across that word, you will be able to comprehend that message even better. In other words, you will be able to put forward that in a more comprehensive manner as well. When you do that, when you re-embed that word over and over and over again in your brain, you are able to put forward that message, and you are able to inculcate that in your day-to-day life as well. Trust me, this is one of the reading exercises that I want you to do in your day-to-day life, and you will have tremendous results in your life. But I would like to end this session in one note. Whenever I used to go to a speaking gig or to confront an audience, here's something that I face, that I always face the fear. And in order to say that I don't want to be fearful before a communication gig or before I'm doing a presentation, I'll be lying, because I actually want that fear to be there. And I want to leave you with a changed mindset. You are not supposed to let that fear consume you. Fear should be there, but you have to master that fear. You have to let that fear be with you, because fear is a way of your body telling you that you're going to do something important. It's going to be something important that you will be doing. So I am preparing you to be more focused, to heighten your senses, to increase the blood flow, that more flow of oxygen into your body, into your lungs, so that you are more focused in what you're doing. And your body is preparing you to do that. Your body is telling you that I'm preparing you to do something important. So make use of that fear. That fear has heightened your senses. Now be more focused on wherever you're going. Now be more focused when you're confronting an audience. Be more focused when you're delivering a talk. Be more focused when you're talking to a stranger. And when you do that, eventually your confidence compounds over time, clubbed with these daily practices which I am giving you, which I have given you in one session. There are a lot more, but this session was only about reading, and we're gonna do more sessions about it. But these are the things that you can do and let that confidence compound over time, and let you be an exponential speaker, a great speaker, so that you attract all the opportunities in your life. Well, that's it from my side today. If you have any questions, just feel free to feed in. And again, my name is Nizam. I am a youth speaker. I create a lot of content, a lot of videos, which is absolutely free. And I want you guys to go out there and check them. So if you want them, just go to my Instagram, which is @space Nizam, SPACENIZOM. Go to my Instagram, give me a follow, send me a DM whenever you have any trouble with your interviews, with your communications. You want to know how to be more presentable, if there's any sales pitch you're preparing for, whatever it might be, send me a DM and I'll be more and more than happy to help you out. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on the next session, which is going to be happening on the next 2 weeks. And let's have a good show. Take care, guys. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I've just received a lot of questions though. So yeah, I'm just gonna read it out first of all. So here's the thing. There are a lot of questions, but I'm just gonna spare 10 minutes for it. So I hope I can address all of them. The first question is, how can introverts become better public speakers? First of all, your public speaking has nothing to do with you being an introvert. Understand these things. Introvert is a personality trait just like an extrovert, and both of them has their own pros and their own cons. An introvert always thinks that I don't go out much. How would I be able to communicate? How would I be able to practice it? No, an introvert as a personality trait is someone who is very selective in who they communicate with. Okay, so that's what you need to do. An introvert has to understand, it is, you don't have the fear to go out there and speak. You have instilled the fear thinking in your mind that I'm an introvert, I can't talk. No, it just doesn't happen that way. You have to look at it in one way. You are selective in who you speak to. That's what being an introvert is all about. And I'll give an exercise to practice. Okay, so what do you need to do? You don't want to go out there and speak to people, right? Super cool, no worries. Here's what you need to do. You all have a phone, you all have a camera. Choose a book, again choose a book and record yourself while you're reading out 2 3 paragraphs of it. Don't stop in between. Just record yourself. Even if you fumble, keep going. And then once you're done with the reading, watch that video over again. So what's going to happen is you will be able to figure out the loopholes in your communication. You'll be able to figure out that, okay, you know what, I'm not able to communicate here properly. I'm not able to communicate there properly. There's something else that I need to do as well. What are the other things that we can be doing? Blah, blah, blah. Can be anything for that matter. But that video will give you the feedback. And then you work on those loopholes and make multiple videos again. Okay. Now, once you're done with that, your confidence has boosted to a certain extent. The second thing which is very important to do is you, of course, talk to a few people, right? People who are non-judgmental to you, people who are very close to maybe your best friend, maybe your spouse, maybe your family members. What you got to do is you go out there and practice your speaking in front of them. Again, they are going to give you their feedback. What feedback is? First thing what's happening is they're going to give you a feedback. And the second thing is you talking to human faces. You're going out there talking to human faces, which is ultimately building the confidence level in you. Okay, so that's what you need to do. You got to go out there first, record your videos, find out the loopholes, and then the next step, go out there, speak to the people. It can be just 2 or 3 individuals. Just go about them and speak about your day. You know what? Choose your mom, choose your friend, choose your father, and just go out there and give a talk for let's say just for 5 minutes, and you'll be able to figure out, oh okay, I can talk, oh okay, I can talk, oh okay, I can talk. And once you do it for 10-15 days, now you're way more confident. And now that mindset of thinking that, I'm an introvert, I can't talk, has gradually started to fade away, and you become a better communicator. I hope that has answered your question. Let's move to the next question. When on video calls, how can we improve our body language to come across more confident? Lovely. So let's say when I am talking to you, we are also on a video call, right? So what happens, let's say if I'm talking and I'm just talking to you like this, and I don't have any body movements, I don't have any body language, and I'm just talking to you like this, and I am just speaking to you like this in the same manner without any other tonality. Is it creating the impact that I want to create? No, right? But when I use my whole body, when I use my whole head, when I use my hands, when I move around, and when I present themselves with my body language and with my voice tonality, that I am confident, I know, god damn it, what I'm speaking, that's when you come as a better communicator. That's when you come as a better speaker. Always have one thing in mind, that whenever you are speaking, like, see, this screen is above my chest, it's not this close, my nostrils are not visible to you, or is not even that back where this whole empty area in the space and I'm still not using them. No, it has to be good, genuine amount. I'm using ample amount of space so that I can leave room for my body, for my hand gestures, or for you to see my facial for you to see my face as well. And this lack of confidence is shown when you have not turned on your video. Now, of course, you can be in a very compromised state. You can be at your home. You can be not wearing proper attire, which is fine. But when you're in a meeting, I request you to be well dressed, to be in a uh, good, proper attire. Turn on your camera. Let people speak. Let people see you when you are delivering something, and you will come out as a confident individual. I hope that answered your question. Well, to the next question. Do you recommend Toastmasters as a way to become public speakers? Yes. Anything, anything that gives you an opportunity to go out there and speak in front of an audience is a good opportunity. It can be anything. It can be you are giving a speech at your inaugural function. You're giving a pep talk to your team. You're giving a pep talk to your subordinates. You're going out there and speaking in front of 20 people, you are representing something. All these are just participations, and that's going to help you. All these participations are going to help you to gradually improve your communication. And Toastmasters is definitely one platform which is not just going to give you a communication, but is also going to give you a framework and constructive criticism of where you need to improvise. So I definitely recommend it. However, public speaking just comes to execution. If you're able to do those executions in your day-to-day life in a closed environment first, and then going out there to the world, you are already doing a great job without joining any space where people are just going to be there and give you constructive criticism. Execute more and you will learn by yourself. Hope that answers your question. Moving on to the next, whenever I speak, people tell me I tend to speak very fast. Any actionable exercises that I can do to slow myself down? Now, some people have a trait of speaking fast. I have it as well. But here's something that you need to be very conscious about. You are speaking to someone because you want them to understand you. What's the point if they're not able to understand you because of your tonality and your voice pitch? So you've got to understand that. And if you do it subconsciously also, here's how it's going to happen. You've got to do it over and over again. So like, what, guys, today I'm going to just go out there and speak in front of all of you. And okay, you know what, my apologies, I'm just going to slow myself down. You know what, guys, today I'm going to speak in front of you. And so I apologized, and I did it again. So when I do this over and over again, gradually the second tonality, which is something that makes the message more comprehensive in nature, is actually more appreciated, and people are going to talk to you. Second thing is, we tend to talk fast when we are scared because we want to get off from that situation. Whenever we are doing gigs like this, whenever we are confronting an audience, we talk really fast because we want to get over it. Just get over it. And that's when we talk fast. And that shows your underconfidence. Talking very fast is also a sign of underconfidence because you want to finish off the things quick, which you don't want to do. So if you have a habit of talking fast, figure it out first whether it's the fear that is leading you to talk fast so that you can end it up, or whether it's a trait which is within you. And if it's a trait, be subconsciously aware. Self-awareness is one of the biggest assets that all of us are going to have. So be aware that, I'm talking fast. So just slow down, take yourself a break. You don't have to slow down. You just have to go on a normal pace, which can make the message more comprehensive to others. That's the exercise I can recommend you. I hope that helps. Next, okay. Your voice modulation and enunciation is awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I've worked a lot. And how can we practice the same thing? Can we exercise you suggest you practice? Okay, so how do you work on your voice modulation? Voice modulation, I believe I've been exercising. It is completely related to the emotion that we want to put forward out there. So everything has a psychology embedded to it. Let's say, for example, so you know what? I've had a very awesome day. I've just had a very energetic day and I'm feeling very pumped up now. Do you really sense the energy in my voice? Do you really sense that? No. Let's take another example. Oh my God, you know what? I had such a horrible day. Oh wow, what a horrible day I've had. What a bad day I've had, guys. Are you feeling the sadness in my tonality? No, right? It has a direct connection to the emotions that you want to emote. So always pay very close attention to what kind of a message you want to send out. What is the effect, that process of communication? Remember the effect that you want to leave in that audience or in that individual. So you have to work on that. And based on that emotion, you modulate your voice tonality. Because your voice tonality and your body language actually sorry, actually keeps up with 97% comprises, I forgot the word, you say I just forgot the word, I said some other word, yeah, comprises of 97% of an entire communication process, and only 7% is dedicated to the verbals, the words that we speak. Although I don't agree with that, I think the percentage ratio has to be worked on. But your voice tonality and your body language is something that actually would help you to emote the exact emotion that you want to send out. So keep focus on your emotions, and that's going to help you focus on the voice tonality that you want to put out there as well. I hope that helps, guys. Moving on to the next question. As a parent, how can I encourage my child, force them to become better public speakers in long? Great question. Very happy you asked this question. I wish my parents did that when I was young, but they didn't do it. Traditional education, I tell you. But yeah, ask them to participate in more and more events. Like genuinely let them go out there and stop telling them to speak to strangers. Now I know there is a fear of why people should not be speaking to strangers, but let them go out there, speak to their teachers. Let them go out there, speak to their friends, to their maybe to their seniors, maybe to their juniors. Let them participate more. You teach them how you teach them about salutation, teach them about telling thank you, teach them about telling sorry, teach them about telling my apologies, teach them about telling their name, teach them about telling their habits. Figure it out, analyze your child, understand what they're interested in, and let them go there. The reason why a lot of Indian parents are not, we don't take care of the public speaking skill at a very initial stage is because we think, okay, marks is the only thing that's going to require. But we have to understand any school, any college, anywhere we go, it's actually about the holistic growth of that individual. Uh, Trust me, I am from Assam now. I am based in Guwahati. I stayed in Pune for 10 years. When I went to Pune initially, I was dead scared because I thought that, how would I speak? How would I communicate? How would I negotiate? How would I present myself? I was dead scared. And I probably would have been not that scared if back in my days, my parents focused on my holistic growth rather than just getting a few marks. So these are the things that you need to teach your child from a very tender age. Like it's pretty much science. The brain develops 85% till we are 7 years old. So if you're able to teach your child life skills like teaching, life skills like communicating, life skills like people skills, life skills like apologizing, saying sorry, saying thank you, simple things like putting the garbage in the dustbin and not spilling on the roads. If these things are embedded at the very tender stage, they stay there for their lifetime. and we need to do that. We need to practice it. And I think as a parent, you definitely need to do that. Ask them to participate more and more possible. Let them go out, let them see the world, and they would turn out to be as crazy, confident, amazing kids when they reach 10th standard or 12th standards. Trust me, I hope this was probably a question someone my parents asked when I was born, but well, nevertheless, I've learned it by myself. So I hope that answered your question. Moving on to the final question, which is how can we communicate effectively on Zoom where body language is not possible? I want to speak well on video calls and conferences as well, which is it is pretty much close to the body language question, which is the second question. But let me tell you, how can you not see my body language here? You are not showing your body language is a different question. Turn on your camera. Let people see you. Speak it out. Ask questions. Give your opinion. Use your whole body language. Do not go nostrils in the video. Go back. Use the screen. Use your hands. Let people see your face. Let people see your eyebrows. Let people see your facial expressions. And it's absolutely cool. It is absolutely fine. And it's just the same things that that I will be telling you. If you really want to do it, I was suggesting someone, the introverts, to do a video practice. You just turn on your laptop and start practicing by yourself. If you're going out there, if you have a meeting in the next half an hour, I practice before my talks. I still do it, and I will be doing it. Probably I've given the same talk 20 times in the last 1 year, but I still practice it because it enhances, it grows over time. The content grows, the content improvises over time, and we do it by doing it over and over again, by practicing it over and over again. So turn on your laptop before any meeting, go out there, look at the frame that you are into. Don't have a cluttered background so that people it becomes very difficult for people to understand and talk to you. Have a clean background. I mispronounce words sometimes, trust me. So have a clean background, okay, and practice it before going. And once you practice it, once you see yourself, you will absolutely be okay to turn on your camera when you will go into a Zoom meeting or a video meeting. And it is not the point that your body language is not visible. Is my body language not visible? It's absolutely visible. Of course you can't see what's below. Then for that, there's still till time. Probably Facebook has rebranded as Meta. Maybe the next meetings we're going to have in the next 2 years are going to be 3D, where we can see the whole individual sitting right in front of us, not physically, but maybe on a hologram or something like that. But yeah, it's coming, and we got to practice it now, because the practice over time is going to make things better. Okay, so that was the questions for the session. I'm still 6 minutes overdue with the time, but it's always good to address the questions, and I'm super happy I did that. Thank you so much, creator team, for giving me this opportunity. We'll do another session in the following week. Everyone who has joined the session, thanks a lot, guys. And if you have any question, my Instagram handle is Spacenizom. I've already mentioned it's SPACENIZOM. Just go out there, send me a message, give me a follow, send me a talk. If you're taking screenshots, please do take screenshots of this and put it there in your story so that I know you have been there in the session. Tag me in as well. And it was a phenomenal session. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you in my next session, probably in the following week. The creative team is going to send you the creative and the time and the date for it and the discussion for it as well. Again, thanks a lot. Have a lovely, lovely day ahead. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.